definitely on now. Okay, we're on page 77. Ready for verses 10 through 12.
The Lord is introduced as speaking. He promises to rise up and exalt himself when he displays his power over Assyria. The plans they conceive will be like chaff and stubble, and the people who compose the Assyrian army will be like thorns. All will be consumed utterly and quickly by the fire of God's thorns.
What'd you say?
I said thorns.
Kind of thought maybe that's what you said too.
That doesn't sound right.
We're coming upon a time of the year when farmers do their harvesting. And if you're around an elevator that's taking in corn, shell corn, you're going to see lots of little red pieces of stuff. And that's chaff. Chaff is something that most farmers don't have much use for. And so they run the corn through sieves to remove the chaff and let the chaff blow as it will.
The bird's pretty easy too.
But it doesn't weigh much. Next.
Verses 13 through 14. The nations of the earth are called on to consider the Lord's might. The judgment on Assyria should strike terror in Zion. Among us live in 6 verse 19 and Hebrews 12 verse 29.
Okay. So he points out that Assyria is executing God's judgment. But the plans that they conceive will be like chaff and stubble. We've talked about what chaff is. What's stubble?
All the guys have it on their face.
About 3 days growth. Okay. That is a usage of the word.
Scalp grass. Scalp grass.
Scalp grass. That's really not the same thing.
Stop. Like in a bean field.
Right. Yeah.
Really hard to walk in through.
Yeah, to be quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The scalp grass has a tendency to take part of the roots with it. Whereas stubble, you cut it above the ground and it sticks up, you know. In the case of beans, about that much, just enough to make it miserable to walk in and quiet, impossible to be quiet. If you used to usually think of stubble in connection with beans and oats or wheat and rye.
After corn, we just call it corn stalks.
Yes, that is true.
Stubble, that's
I
a
guess. Especially the corn stalks. I guess I took us back one on that one, didn't I? Oh well. Ezra?
Verses 15 and 16. He answers the question by observing that only those who live holy and upright lives can dwell, as it were, in the presence of God. Cross reference, Revelation 7.
Okay. Who among us can live with the consuming fire? The answer? Come. What's that? Okay. And especially in the presence of God.
Makes me remember starting into that. Three guys got done, but I fire 3 times.
Yeah. It was no ordinary furnace.
Somehow there's 4 guys in there.
Okay. I guess we're back to you, huh?
I guess so. The Messiah will bring protection and peace. Chapter 3, verses 17 through 24.
Okay.
You want to read 17 through 24?
I do.
Yeah. 33:17. Your eyes will see the King in his beauty. They will see the land that is very far off. Your heart will meditate on terror. Where is the scribe? Where is he who weighs? Where is he who counts the towers? You will not see a fierce people, a people of obscure speech beyond perception, of a stammering tongue that you cannot understand. Look upon Zion, the city of our appointed feasts. Your eyes will see Jerusalem, a quiet home, a tabernacle that will not be taken down. No one, or not one of its stakes will ever be removed, nor will any of its cords be broken. But there, the majestic Lord will be for us a place of broad rivers and streams, in which no galley with oars will sail, nor majestic ships pass by. For the Lord is our judge, the Lord is our lawgiver, the Lord is our king, he will save us. Your tackle is loosed. They could not strengthen their mast, they could not spread the sail. Then the prey of great thunder is divided. The lame take the prey, and the inhabitants will not say, I am sick. the people who dwell in it will be forgiven their iniquity.
Okay. Amos, I guess we're ready for you.
Isaiah now addresses the righteous ones who are described in verses 15 through 16. Whenever the Messiah King comes, the righteous shall see him in his beauty. The situation will then be so good, they will find it next to impossible to remember the past time of terror.
Okay, that's messianic. That would, and he was the king of promise. It's kind of human nature to forget. And God, through Isaiah, says the situation will be so good that they find it impossible to remember how bad it had been.
It seems like we have a really good time. We're really good at holding on to the bad times.
Yeah,
Remembering how bad something has been, or so and so did this to me, and hold it towards them for a long, long time. But good stuff is more easily forgotten, it seems.
okay. But here it was the time of terror that they couldn't remember. And so that kind of makes it even more appropriate that they found it next to impossible, or would find it next to impossible to remember the time of terror. And if it's hard to remember, this shows how difficult it is, or how good it must have been going to be.
That'd be pretty good.
Okay, Ezra, I think you're next.
Verses 20 through 21. Instead, they would behold Jerusalem secure and at peace. The Lord shall be protection surrounding the city like a wide river on which no vessel of war can pass.
Okay. A wide river on which no vessel of war could pass. Why would that be?
Guess it must have been kind of shallow.
Okay.
Because you have to have a certain amount of depth for a warship to get in places.
Yeah. Okay. I think the USS Iowa was like 35 feet from top to bottom. So it had to have water more than that deep to go anywhere.
Wouldn't sail down the Raccoon River very well.
No. I'm afraid it'd get stuck on some sandbars before long, especially this time of year, this year.
It's a nice wide river in a lot of places, but it's just not that deep.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Back to you. 22 through 24. The Lord will be judge, lawgiver, and king. Therefore, his people have great confidence. Although Jerusalem is presently like a ship in poor condition, the future holds the promise of a time when all will be well because sin would be forgiven.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
Gonna switch to sailor analogy.
Okay.
Wide river, depth of boat, ship in poor condition. Something that was easily understood.
But there was a time coming when all would be well.
Didn't become a priest.
The sins have been forgiven. Okay, next.
The destiny of the wicked is contrasted with the
Exaltation.
exaltation for those who trust in the Lord. Chapter 34 to 35.
Yes.
The judgment against Edom stands as an example to the world powers which resist God. 34, 1 through 7.
You want to read those 17 verses? Or
Sounds good. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and the stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth from the vine, and as a failing fig from the fig tree, the falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bath in heaven, behold, it shall come down upon
Edomia. You can just say Edom.
Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood, it is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in both
Basra.
and a great slaughter in the land of Edom. And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is in this day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense.
Recompenses.
Recompenses.
Verse 8.
For the controversy of Zion. And the streams therefore thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day, the smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. But the
Cormorant.
cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. They shall call the nobles thereof
It's nobles.
to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all her princes shall be nothing. And thorns shall come up in her places, nettles and brambles in the fortress thereof. And it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island. And the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl shall also rest there, and find for herself a place of rest. Therefore shall a great owl make her nest and lay, and hatch and gather under her shadow. And there shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord, and read, no one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate, for my mouth it hath gathered. For my mouth it has commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. And he hath cast the lot for them, and his hand has divided it into them by line. They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation. They shall dwell therein.
You made it. Okay. Ezra?
Verses 1 through 4. All nations of the earth are called upon to hear the announcement of their destruction. Isaiah speaks as though the slaughter has already occurred, because when the Lord determines a thing, it is certain of accomplishment. Cross reference Romans 4, verse 17.
Okay.
sets his heart, when he sets his mind to something, good luck.
I guess it's your turn.
Verses 5 through 7. Edom is singled out among the nations and serves as a representative of all world powers which resist God since the record of their enmity against the Israelites. Cross-reference Obadiah 10, chapter 10 through 15. Amos.
There's only one chapter in Obadiah.
That's right.
So it's just verses 10 through.
Verses 10 through 15. Amos 1, verse 6, chapter 9, chapter 11, no, verse 9, verse 11.
Yes.
Ezekiel 35, Jeremiah 49, 7 through 22, Malachi 1, verses 1 through 5. Therefore, the sword of the Lord will drink its fill of wrath in heaven and then descend upon Edom. The judgment against Edom is portrayed as a great sacrifice. Cross-reference Zephaniah 1, 7 through 18. And Jeremiah 46, verse 10. Numbers. Numbers.
In verse 6, the end of the verse, the King James says, "For the Lord hath sacrificed in Bozrah and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea." Idumea is what?
Edom.
Edom is what?
The Edomites.
Okay. It belongs to the Edomites.
Yes, it's not Israel.
Who were the Edomites?
Descendants of Esau. Well, okay.
Yeah, Moab and Ammon. Edom was the nation of Esau. The Edomites were the people. And
They were brothers to the Israelites. By extension.
yeah, well, Esau was whose brother? That's the question. Esau was whose brother?
Jacob.
Jacob.
And Jacob is the father of Israel.
Okay.
History.
Next.
So,
Verses 8 through 10. Prophet now proceeds to describe in figurative language the severity
Right.
of the desolation to be brought against this nation, which has despised the Lord and his people. The land will burn day and night as thought it were pitch, and the smoke will rise generation after generation. The territory occupied by this ancient enemy of God's people will be a perpetual waste.
Okay. What is pitch? Yeah, it's roofing cement. Different, I mean, there's different consistencies, but it's like driveway coating and fiber roof coating, and that's as near as thing as we would have now to pitch. When Noah built the ark, what was supposed to happen?
It was pitched to there and to that.
Okay,
Waterproof.
waterproofing. And here he says that the land will burn day and night as though it were pitch. Once you get pitch started burning, you just keep on burning. But pitch is a natural occurring substance. It's not that we have, technology has allowed us to manufacture it. We have the pitch pits to compare the fire to pitch pits. Sometimes would catch on fire and burn and burn.
Yeah. When it catches on fire, that smoke is just not very pleasant.
Okay.
And like burning tires.
Yeah, probably so. Ezra, I think it's your turn.
Verses 11 through 15. The sole
Occupants.
and the sole occupants of the land will be wild animals and birds. The nobles and princes will disappear, and their palaces and dwelling places will be overgrown with nettles and brambles.
You know what nettles are?
I think most of us are mainly with steam nettle.
Okay. There's also a nettle called a bull nettle that is more like a thistle than a stinging nettle. But brambles, what are brambles?
Like you
Like what?
found. Rose bushes. Sage orange. There's a lot of spiky plants.
Okay. How about raspberries?
Raspberries are spiky.
Okay.
And there's a green vine with black thorns on them all over. Those are bad.
Not fun. Okay.
Not plants you really want to keep out.
They seem to be difficult to get stopped. And I guess it's your turn.
16 and 17. When future generations read these prophecies in the book of the Lord, they will observe that not one of these deaths
Declarations.
failed to come to pass. The Lord has allotted desolation for the kingdom of Edom, and it will therefore become the habitation of wild creatures.
Okay.
We don't have Edom anymore.
We'll have Edom.
Edom as an actual country.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be called. But it's not called Edom anymore. Okay, question or comments?
In some regards, it's kind of like a checklist. Check, that's destroyed, that's destroyed. You know, that happened. Not one of them missed. Not one of them failed.
Okay. Guess we're ready for B.
Those redeemed by the Lord will find gladness and joy. Chapter 35.
Yeah, please.
Verses 1 through 2, 1 and 2. In contrast to the fading glory of God's opposing world powers, the once desolate places of God's people shall blossom as the rose, and will be transformed into areas of joy and singing. This chapter is
Prophetic.
of the Messianic era, in which time the glory of the Lord and the excellence of our God is made manifest through Christ and the church. Cross-reference Ephesians 1, 3 verse 11, 3, 10 through 11, and 21, 3, 10 through 11, and 21, and 5, 25 to 27.
Okay. So Isaiah is issuing a prophecy about the coming of the Messiah. Ezra?
Verses
3 and 4.
Verses 3 and 4. Those who are weak, disobedient, or fearful will find strength, encouragement, and confidence.
And the word is despondent. What's it mean? Any ideas? Despondent?
down and out.
What about down and out?
Those are just give up. Mentally, I guess you can say depressed.
Okay, that's good. Feeling down and out, that's despondent. It is a feeling, and it's not a pleasant mental state.
And God is the solution.
God is what?
The solution.
Okay. I guess we're ready for you,
Five through seven. The blind shall see, the deaf shall hear, the lame shall walk, and the dumb shall sing. Because in Zion will be streams of blessing poured upon the redeemed. The Lord will supply every need of his own people. This prophecy is quoted by Jesus and given a literal application, but it also is fulfilled in a spiritual sense. Cross-reference Matthew 11, 2 through 6, Isaiah 61, verse 1, and Luke 4, 18 through 19.
Okay. Lots of good things are going to happen. And the streams of blessings will be poured out upon the redeemed.
You know, be able to go from any one of those to the condition. It's a miracle. To go from being lame, not able to move, to jumping around. Quite an improvement.
Okay. So God, through this prophecy, is promising better times ahead. Amos? Let's go ahead and just call it quits for today. Better than that.
What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. What peace we often forfeit. What goodness may we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. How we felt at temptation is there trouble anywhere. We should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Can we find a friend so faithful? Who all our sorrows share? Jesus knows our every need.
Amen. Comfort with the Lord again. Precious Savior, still our refuge. Take it to the Lord in prayer. New life and His faithful safety. Take it to the Lord in prayer. In times they'll take it cheerfully. Thou wilt find us full of faith. Walking in sunlight on my journey over the mountain to the grave. Jesus has said, "I'll never forsake thee, promise thee long life." Heavenly sunlight, lighting my soul with glory divine. Hallelujah, rejoicing, singing His praises, Jesus is mine. Shadows around me, shadows above me, never conceal my Savior and God. He is the light, He is the darkness, ever walking close to His side. Heavenly sunlight, lighting my soul with glory divine. Hallelujah, I'm rejoicing, singing His praises, Jesus is mine. In the bright sunlight, ever rejoicing, rushing my way through mansions above, singing His praises, gladly and walking in sunlight, sunlight of love. Heavenly sunlight, lighting my soul with glory divine. Hallelujah, I am rejoicing, singing His praises, Jesus is mine. Heavenly Father,